Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN. Brian Winnikins from the NAFB convention in Kansas City. Thank you to our broadcast sponsors, including Alcivia Co-op, Anabasilo of Durand, Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, Compeer Financial, Osteoplastics, and also Synergy Co-op. And joining us right now is Zippy Duvall. He is president of the American Farm Bureau Federation. Talk a little bit about a lot of stuff to talk about here with the Farm Bureau here coming up. And Zippy, thanks for joining us. Well, when we recorded this, we finally pretty much have the election done. Okay, we're going to have divided government in Congress. What's that going to mean for the Farm Bill?
Well, it's going to mean that we got a challenge on our hand because we got over 100 new congressmen coming to town or legislators coming to town. And we view that as the biggest challenge we're going to have in getting a new farm bill, because those 100 new people coming to town, they're going to be in a new world with everything hitting them head on and facing a farm bill in their very first year. And that's going to be our challenge is going to be able to get to them, get to know them, build a relationship, build trust, so that they'll lean on us as a resource as they write that new farm bill.
Now, with that's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity, isn't it?
It most certainly is, because coming off the pandemic, I think everyone, all the elected officials, constituents are more aware of the sensitivity around food and availability of food and what it means to them and their families. So I think they're going to have a different interest in not only the production but the availability of food across the board.
Talking with Zippy Duvall, he's president of the American Farm Bureau Federation. I think because of that, like you mentioned with the pandemic, not only there's going to be more interest, but not just from rural legislators, even the urban legislators in representing a Milwaukee, a Chicago, a New York, and LA. They're kind of like, hey, wait a minute, I guess these farmers mean something to us.
That's exactly right. And really, the farm bill should be called a farm and food bill, because over 80% of it is nutrition program that helps feed people that are in times of need. A farm and food bill not only provides a safety net for farmers, but it also provides a safety net for families that are going through a difficult time. And food availability is a big national security issue. And if you look around the world and see what's going on in other countries of the world, if you can't feed yourself as a country, you're very vulnerable to other people that are not so friendly to you. So I think probably first time in a long time, our lawmakers will understand the need for a farm bill, and it's going to be our job to make sure that those urban legislators understand how important that nutrition program is to it. And that's why it's so important to keep those together, because we need to be able to get the support from urban and rural America to be able to provide a food security for this country.
Talking with Zippy Duvall, he's president of the American Farm Bureau Federation. What's Farm Bureau hoping to see in the next Farm Bill? Sometimes it's we want to. I know, like the milk programs. There's been a lot of talk about the dairy part of it, but what would Farm Bureau like to see in the new bill?
Well, we're still in our policy development process. We'll finalize that in Puerto Rico at our annual convention in January. So I don't want to get ahead of our members because they're the ones that set the policy. But through the Farm Bill Study Group that we had and the recommendations been made to our board, of course, the four founding things is that we're going to protect crop insurance. Crop insurance is a cornerstone of the Farm Bill, and our farmers need to have that risk management tool. We're going to make sure that Title I is modernized, and when I say that, it's to take into consideration cost of production, and are all those targets in the Farm Bill adequate, and is there an interest in doing something there? We're yet to see what our members are going to say about that. Conservation has been something we've always supported, and we know that conservation is just the old word of climate smart farming, so there's a lot of discussion around climate smart farming. Has been $16 or $19 billion pumped in there from the Inflation Reduction Act into climate smart projects. How's that going to affect the discussion? We're having those conversations right now. So we want to make sure that we don't hurt crop insurance, that we maintain and modernize the Title I program, and that we do conservation, climate smart farming practices on a voluntary market incentive based way, just like we have conservation over years, because our farmers have proven to the total of 140 million acres across America. That's the size of California and New York, that they will volunteer and do the right things if those programs are voluntary market incentive based.
Zippy Duvall, he's president of the American Farm Bureau Federation from the NAFB convention. I'm Brian Winnikins in WRDN.